do something crazy to start the episode. Purvis, do something crazy to start the episode. Boom, 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 boom,
Do the
boom.
truffle shuffle.
Boom, 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 boom. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Unpaid Nobody's podcast.
Jesus Christ.
I just wanted to start it as scary as possible. Welcome. This is a big episode. Everyone like, subscribe. Meet us in the year 2093. There's probably going to be some intense thumbnail for this episode. Ideally.
Ooh, we could all be on a roof just staring down.
Yeah, dude. He looks like fucking...
menacingly.
He looks like the gritty reboot of White Shaft. Anyway.
You mean Michael Cera?
Yeah.
Look, we all need to
like if they
find
did that
leverage.
for real. Like if they did that for real and wanted to make it good, it would look like the album cover. Anyway, we're reviewing Yeat's 2093. Zay is gonna frolic in the background.
Yeah,
Big
The
week of
mascot.
big weeks of releases.
absolutely.
Oh my god, Purvis.
Can we get into it?
Get into it. We got a lot of releases this week. Some big albums.
Yes, finally, we are here. The biggest news.
Yeah. The biggest release of the year, I think, so far.
Schoolboy Q is back with Blue Lips. The rollout has been amazing.
Immaculate
We've
rollout.
Has it been 2-3 years? How long has it been? It's been a minute.
5.
5?
Yeah, Crash talking about in 2019.
Was it pre-COVID? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he's got a lot to say, and
Yeah.
the rollout has been phenomenal.
Fantastic. Yeah,
Every single has been great. All the music videos great.
fantastic.
here for it.
I can't wait. I'm just over the moon. When we got the final track listing, I'm like, this feels right. This feels correct to
This
me.
is it. I think I'm gonna have to buy some merch. I want to listen to the album first, but
Yeah, I want to listen. Obviously, I'm going to listen to the album first, but like I'm hyped, man. I am unreason. This is the. Can't remember the last time I was this hyped for an album. It was definitely sometime last year, but like,
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't listen to a lot of albums at 11 p.m. nowadays. This will be one I'm listening to.
I haven't listened to an album at 11 p.m. since Utopia.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So super excited for that. But on another really exciting one of your guys, that
Yeah.
Mexican OP is here.
Yeah, I cannot believe this. He released Lone Star Luchador, also the same day as Utopia. Believe it or not, like,
Old.
This man is active.
yeah, he likes to launch against heavy hitters. Like, but you know, I think this is effective counter programming. I love it. I'm very excited. I liked the baby tried, but he could not make me not like point him out. So has another song with Paul Wall. Schoolboy Q did this too with like the handwritten track list. Stop that. It's hard to read. Just stop doing it. Like,
Kind of fucking.
Yeah, it was a little.
I think
bit,
it's a
but I
cool
like the
aesthetic.
design.
I think it's a cool aesthetic. Like, I think it's a good visual. It does not communicate. Like,
Yeah, I like the idea that it's like something that would be sitting like on the engineer's table at
Yeah.
like the studio. I think that's kind of a cool vibe.
yeah,
Do both. Give us like the handwritten
yeah.
one.
Just
in
type
the
it out
actual-
though, like, because I was literally like, "Is Back in Love on Blue Lips?" Because I can't read the fucking thing, and it's like,
It better be.
it is. Like once they released it in text, I was like, "Oh, it's track 17." Like.
There we go.
Yeah, but yeah, so 2 big albums. Gonna be listening to both of them tomorrow. I'm very excited.
Yes. And then we also have Meek Mill coming out with Heathen. This actually came out Wednesday.
Yeah.
In the midst of a lot of Twitter drama.
I'm so happy I'm not on Twitter anymore.
Yeah, it's been out of control. Everyone hates DJ Academics still, and he's trolling him, and there's
Good,
rumors and stuff for P Diddy. It's out of control.
dude. The
But
P Diddy
anyway.
stuff is scary. Like,
Yeah, I know that stuff is.
Rachel's been following it, and it sounds fucking bad. Like,
It's like,
Yeah.
can you say prison?
Yeah, no, this does not look good. It's pretty bad.
give it 2 years, we're gonna be like, P Diddy didn't kill himself. I'm sorry.
But yes, we're getting to that point basically.
Yeah, it's about to be that. Yeah.
I've been told though that the EP, I don't think it's like a full album. It's like an EP. It's actually really good, but like because of the Twitter rants, it just kind of get overshadowed.
Yeah,
It is.
no, and like, look, I have a lot of respect for Meek Mill,
Mhm.
but I got a Schoolboy Q into that Mexican OT album coming out, man. I got a lot
Right.
of.
That's on the back burner.
I got a lot on my plate.
Yes. And then we have a really short one I want to go over. Ian Dior also plans on dropping his EP Blind. So that should be pretty good as well. But going
Interesting.
into the singles, we have
A
lot
ton
of
of singles. Yeah.
and they're all over the place. So I'll just kind
Yeah.
of fly through them. Cardi B is back, like what freestyle.
This is gonna
I'm
be
excited to see what she
everywhere.
has to say.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my thing is that like I have it's the same thing. I have a lot of respect for Cardi B. Like I don't think she makes bad music, but it's just like out of all the female rappers right now, it's like
Give me Megan.
yeah, give me Megan, dude. Have you guys seen the Red Bull? This is hip hop related. I could just bring up this tangent. Have you guys seen the Red Bull Spiral ciphers?
I have not seen it.
Oh
I
my
heard
god!
about
So
it,
it's
but I
like
have
the
not
Red Bull ciphers, and they put the camera in like the center of like a circular room, and they like rap into it like as like,
Okay.
and it's a cipher, so they play one beat, right? And they have one that's it's three people from Texas, so it's Maxo Cream, that Mexican OT, and Manello, who's like an up and coming female rapper from Texas. There was one that was like kind of a Chicago one because it was
Oh.
Mick Jenkins,
Oh, yeah.
Saba, and then IDK, who is not from Chicago. And I tell
Oh.
you, like I was the first. It goes Saba, Mick Jenkins, and IDK, and I was like, "There's no way IDK is gonna outshine both of them." Dude does like a 48 bar verse, and then the last 16, he's like calling out rappers and like mimicking their style. So
Oh,
he's
wow.
like saying like, "Oh, they want me to rap like Jid," and then he starts rapping like Jid. They say,
Okay, yeah. You're gonna
then he
have to
does
send
it
that.
for Denzel, Corday, and Smino. He like
Yeah.
mimics their style, like
I'm gonna
perfect.
need that.
Yeah. And then the one I've been listening to constantly is they have one from the like the lower end Griselda people, with DJ Conductor beat, and it's Armani Caesar, Rome Streets, and then another guy I don't know. He's very good. The
sounds great.
freestyle is very good, and that one's just very good. And I gotta tell you, I think if there's an artist I just need to drop an album this year, it's Armani Caesar. She is
Oh, yeah.
fucking incredible,
Her last album was amazing.
dude.
I love
So good, yeah.
it. Honestly, what a great addition to Griselda. That's exactly
Yeah,
what they needed.
that's
It's such a good
exactly what they
balance.
needed. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's my little check those out. Those freestyles are really, really good. Yeah, I
No,
would,
you got me. The Chicago one I will be watching probably.
yeah, watch that. I would say the Griselda one's the best. I like all three really, and there are other ones, but those are like the three with like names I recognize.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. Some other ones to go over. Consequence featuring Kanye West. No apologies. Someone that should be apologizing for everything.
Cool. Live.
We,
His
we
reign
have-
of terror continues. Like
he's not going anywhere.
he should.
What can we do? And then we have Skepta Skepta and Portable coming out with Tony Montana. Because who doesn't love Tony Montana?
It's yeah.
But anyway, we have Pharrell Williams with Miley Cyrus coming out with Doctor.
He is a producer. Like
He's a producer.
so
He's
he's
a
got
hip hop adjacent. I just want to see what he's gonna come out with. We have Richie and Amine. I don't know if you guys saw this. This actually already came out. It's called Dizzy. Amine's verse is absolutely phenomenal.
Okay.
It's really,
I'll have to
really
listen to that. Yeah.
good. Honestly, I don't know if we have anything for next week, but I was thinking about doing a deep dive. Now that I'm thinking about it again, Caroline, we could do an Amine deep dive.
I thought we would do a Blue
Well,
Lips review.
Oh, duh. Another mind.
Yeah.
Get that idea. Blue Lips, absolutely. We'll put
Yeah.
that on the back burner.
Yeah.
We also have Four Bats Act 3 on God. This is the dude that's
On
been
God?
blowing up on TikTok. The dude with the side ski, and he walks up to a mic and he sounds super high pitched R&B. So that's actually very exciting. Hopefully
Yeah.
he's making a career for himself.
Yeah.
Once again, we have another song from Fred again and Little Yachty, Stay In It. I actually did hear a snippet. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
And I've been
I
trying
like
to
Fred
get
again. I saw them at Lalo last year. It was really
Oh, you
good.
saw Fred again?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty dope.
Yeah. He
That's
did
one I do want to see.
I messaged you guys. He did a version of it was some Frank Ocean song. I think it was not I don't remember. I have video of it. I'll look it up. But he did like a live remix of like some Frank Ocean song. It was really good.
Okay, bet. Oh yeah, I've been wanting to see him of all people because he's like
He's
kinda on top
blowing
of the
up.
world right now.
He's
in
blowing
the
up. Yeah,
industry.
I've been listening to him for like maybe a year, not super actively, but maybe for like a year and a half, and he's like blowing up
Mm.
now. Yeah.
But I'm excited to see that. I want to see him, and I want to see Porter Robinson because I think he's about
Yeah.
to come out with something too.
Dude.
An announcement.
Bucket list, Porter Robinson.
Yeah. I think it's coming out with something. Something just happened on his website, but
Yeah.
I don't know the full details. But yeah, some other stuff. We have Teasel Touchdown. He is back making a song called "Making Flippy Floppy." So he still sounds like he didn't grow up.
Is that a sex thing?
What is going on here?
I don't care what it is. It's just not it.
It's very funny. I mean, I think ironically it might be the song I'm most looking forward to on this list, besides like the one immediately following it that you're about to say. But
yes,
no one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
but it's provocative.
Yeah.
Let's see what this 30-year-old man has to say about making flippy floppy.
Yeah, I agree.
POV, you flippy, you're floppy.
God, I want to die.
Want to die so much all the time.
Tag yourself. Tag me.
Anywho,
Living's hard.
living is hard. Another news: we have Rico Nasty and Boys Noise. I don't know how to say the name.
I think
Aaron Tintin.
Yeah, that sounds.
Tintin.
Rin Tin.
Right.
Oh, well, Rin
Is
Tin
that
Tin.
another language? Oh, I guess
Yeah,
they
it's
just
like
had to say it
a
in
Rin
the
Tin Tin.
place.
Yeah,
All right, bet I like that.
yeah.
My mom is away.
But yeah, excited for that. Speaking of the baby,
Yeah.
he might be able to ruin it this week for you.
Yeah.
He's dropping Grammy Party.
No, I won't be listening to that. You gotta put a whole lot of sugar for me to take that for that medicine to go down. I'm not.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I think featuring the baby depends. Just the baby?
That's tough. That is tough.
What? That's like eating pepperoni out of the bag. Like,
Hey,
Wow, what a
how
reference.
dare you slander pepperoni like this?
We love pepperoni.
no one loves pepperoni like I do. Do you think you love pepperoni? You don't even know the difference. You don't even know.
No one knows what it
Have
means,
a-
but it's provocative.
Can I have a pepperoni off? What is this?
Hey, yo.
Okay.
Pause.
Purvis,
Yes.
continue. Yeah. This
on
one's
to the
also
last
very
song.
disappointing.
Joyner Lucas, everyone's favorite, with
Man.
Conway the Machine.
What's the...
I love Conway, but this is not smart.
I was gonna say I'm mad about this. I don't really even listen to either one of them. I'm mad about this.
Yeah, no, this is
what
not.
do they have to say?
Yeah,
How did they end up in the studio together?
it's very silly.
But yeah, that's all the singles. Like I said, they are literally all over the place. But it's a busy week. But we don't have a lot of news. Actually, we have one announcement. We have the 21 Savage and Jid tour that's been announced for the American Dream, which we will be probably attending if there's a new Jid album.
Yeah, if there's a new Jid out, here's the thing. I really want to see Jid. Rachel really wants to see Jid. Jid is like very high up for her. But here's the thing. I have accidentally seen 21 Savage 3 times. Like, do I need to see?
This should now be 4.
Speaking of
21
four-
cannot do anything for you.
Yeah, right. Like, because I saw him before Janelle Monáe in Lollapalooza in 2019. I saw him with J. Cole. I saw him with Drake.
Nope.
This would be the 4th
Seen
time.
him a lot.
Yeah, I've seen
him twice.
that is, and this is true. That would be 84 Savage, and I just can't live like.
Okay.
It's just too much.
I hate that.
And like, I liked his album, but like,
I actually
84
did
does
like his
not have
album,
the same
believe
ring to it.
yeah.
No, it does not.
I liked his album, but there's been a couple albums that have come out since then that I've liked more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I liked
Like I
all
said.
his Yellow. I don't know if it counts, but The Alchemist, the Hit Boy Project.
I think that counts.
Spoilers. Like.
This actually was a very good album.
Yeah, this is a very good album. Yeah. All right. Jasper, you wanted to talk about this song psychic thing because I assume you're into crystals.
Maybe
It came
not
up
so.
on Spotify. And I was like, yeah.
I'm into liquid crystals that you put in displays.
No, I'm into liquid swords. By
Thank
the
you.
jizza.
Thank you. Basically, it's a feature that Spotify is rolling out called Song Psychic that allows you to basically ask Spotify questions and get answers in the form of music.
Yes.
So I already know who's going to be using this. Spoiler alert, it's not me.
Yeah, I tried.
Mom, if you're watching, this is for you. Like,
Yeah, I tried this. It was like, what do you want your future about? And I'm like, career. Let me do career because I'm in a rough spot right now.
real.
I did the same thing.
And it's like, oh, are you going to get the job you applied for? And I'm like, okay. And then it's like,
Fucking
eventually by Tame Impala. And I'm like, this is dumb. This was a swing and a miss. Like, I'm sorry, Spotify.
They fucking cooked you, dude.
Dude, like,
That's so funny.
I did the same
Eventually
thing
you'll get a job.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where, nobody knows when, but
No, it's just
eventually. Spotify Psychic, people.
You want to know something even worse? I did the same thing earlier. I did careers, and I said, should I leave my current job? And it gave me Brett Fias. No one knows. That was my answer.
It's like if a Magic 8 Ball
That was like you lied.
was like music, had like access to your Spotify data, and like was worse somehow. Like,
I
Fucking no one
closed the app
knows.
so fast. I
That's
closed
so
the app
funny.
so fast, and I was like, "Okay, this is dumb." So when Jasper brings this up later, I'm gonna be very upset.
Dude, I'm
like,
actually
I asked
crying a
it-
little bit right now. That's so funny.
I asked it like if my car will be okay. And it played "Walking in the Snow" by Run
That's a bad omen. Like, you guys-
Which, by the way, me, Rachel, not me, but like we're gonna be helping with the note. Like we bought a new car yesterday.
Oh yeah, dope.
Yeah, we were at the Honda dealership and we saw the stupid little bike thing that Jasper has. Like,
Hey,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Wait, you had to tell me what car you got. I guess
It was an HRV.
Okay, bet. Okay.
Ugh.
All right.
But yeah,
well,
so
that's it.
Spotify Psychic.
Yeah.
Okay.
here at Spotify Industries, we strive to make your life worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Thanks so much.
It was like, hey, do you know how music exists? We could not pay the people who make it.
Eh.
It's like
We
that's
get
all.
features like
Dude,
this.
Stravos Halkies is a comedian and he has an amazing bit, and it's like all tech industries is just like, what if we just stopped paying people? Like,
Yeah, I saw one like that where it's like, what if your cab was unregulated?
yeah,
like some shit
it was
that,
like,
but
what
it
if
was-
the
yeah.
people who drive your cabs couldn't go to the doctor anymore? Like,
Yeah, I think that might be the same one.
yeah.
God damn it.
Oh
That's
my
funny.
god. So, Purvis, are we gonna go to school?
Yes, we are going to go to school. School is now in session.
Ding ding.
I put up a bunch of names.
Get a school bell, or I'm gonna
I will.
remove
I will.
the fucking soundboard.
I'm gonna
You have
find
been-
one.
I'm
right now.
going
A
to
school
write-
bell.
I will write you up. Like,
Wait, what? Okay, I put up a bunch of names. If we've done them, just remind me because
okay,
I have the list updated, but sometimes I forget stuff.
I know you. Do. It's okay.
Little Uzi Vert.
I think we've done Little Uzi Vert.
I didn't see him on the list.
Jasper, do you think we've done Little Uzi Vert? You wouldn't know.
Jasper would know.
I feel like we talked about them recently. I don't know if it was in the context of school is in session though. I don't remember.
We always talk
I don't
about
remember giving him a grade.
Okay, let's
That
just do Little Uzi Vert then. I will do B plus.
I'm feeling the same thing.
Yeah,
actually.
I feel B plus. I think they have made excellent work. I think they have classic, iconic songs, as iconic as anything else in the genre.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think they have a couple quality albums. A couple.
Yes.
I do not think they have reached their potential by a long shot, though. They're young and they're prolific, so like we could get there. But like I just, like Eternal Take was probably the closest to like a fully satisfying project, right? And like,
Yes.
that was good, but it didn't really. I still felt like I could have gotten more from them.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Totally understandable.
Yeah.
I'm around the
Also,
same
he's
page.
Glorilla's cousin.
Oh yeah,
Wild.
that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was about the same. I think B is accurate. Write this in here. I think we did Juice World. Yes, we did.
We did do
21
Juice WRLD.
Savage.
Yeah.
We actually
21
did not do 21
Savage. Oof, controversy.
It's a lot going on.
Oh my god.
I'm fine with like
I'm probably
a
gonna go with a B
B
plus.
minus.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Well, I do think of like his era. I think he has established himself as like a hit maker, as like one of the best feature artists of modern hip hop.
No.
Um, like I feel like we're at the end of that arc, so I feel like it could be easy to not be kind, but he had an incredible run, right?
That's true.
And I also give him a lot of credit for just developing, right? For just like doing more with each project.
I'm gonna say as a person
But
and as a musician.
yeah,
for sure.
but at the same time, I feel like very similar to Lil Uzi is just like I don't think he's gotten quite there yet.
We haven't gotten that concept album from either one.
It's not even that I necessarily need a concept album. I just need
No, that's solid.
something that is just grabs me, right? And I haven't gotten that from either of them. I think that they contribute a lot of really positive things to like hip hop as a whole. But yeah.
If you guys were to guess, how old do you think 21 Savage is?
34.
36.
31.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So he's got
31 Savage.
I hate everything. I'm putting him in the B's.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, but Cardi B.
Cardi B.
I really don't know how I feel about Cardi B.
I give a B for Cardi B.
It's very complicated, and this is something we talked about when we were on Yee's show, because like I think Cardi B has hits. Like Bodak Yellow is a classic. Like I think she has hits for sure, and I think she broke a vicious cycle among like women in hip hop, where there was always like the idea that there could only be one, right?
Yeah.
And it really was. Cardi B was the person who was like, nah, there can be more than one of us, right? So whether or not, so it's hard to like give a grade like purely based on the music, because I feel like this impact is like also so huge for like what she represents as an artist. We don't have the rich soundscape that we have without Cardi B. But at the same time, like I don't think I'm not a huge fan of the music.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's to grade Oliver, so it's the whole.
Yeah, it's the whole
career,
thing.
right?
So like I'd probably do B minus, maybe B. Because I think her impact's good. I also think like she's also just very vocal, and I'll be honest, I've been shocked by the amount of times that I've thought what she had to say was actually pretty insightful, which is crazy because like. Oh, never gets cold. But but yeah, that's just kind of where I am.
That's fair. I'm sitting around the same thing. I think B minus area. I think her impact outshines what she actually put out.
I completely agree.
Which is fine. I mean, I think it should also count in the decision making, but she really only has one
huge album,
real album out. And to be fair, yeah, it won the Grammy, but. Should it have?
No. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I think I think that it's like like that's exact. First off, I don't give a shit about the Grammys. Like even when my hero wins, but yeah, no, that one was almost the heist worthy. Like I really do think it was almost that. Obviously like there's layers to the heist thing that Cardi B does not have, but like. Yeah. And like she wasn't against something as good as Good Kid, Mad City, but like I still think like Astro World is like almost as clearly a better album as Good Kid, Mad City is to The Heist.
Here's a question for both of you.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you could answer this. How old is Cardi B?
Cardi B.
I think she's like 32.
Close.
I thought she was 31, 32. I thought she was my
She's
age.
also 31.
Yeah.
There's
yeah,
a
like
31 club.
Yeah, no, I'm 31. Me and Cardi B are born the same year. So
yeah. Now, bonus points. who can state her actual
No,
real name?
it's a demonic word. It's like not.
It's a
You say it, that
demonic
sofa behind you might start
word.
floating.
Yeah, no, it's like it's not like a bad word. It's just like it's.
It sounds very intricate.
Yeah, it sounds like a Latin like phrase.
It's a phrase in Harry Potter. That's what it is.
Yeah,
But no, I don't know how to say it.
yeah, I don't know
I
how
was
to
gonna
say.
say, as someone who I don't know if you looked it up or not, but like as someone
I
who
did
speaks
look it up.
Spanish, I am not sure how to say the first word, how to pronounce the I at the
Yeah,
end.
I have
actually.
no idea. I'd love to ask her. I'd love to ask her one day. But no.
I think it's Belcalis.
Yeah,
Like I don't think it's a super hard I, but
yeah,
Is she mixed?
yeah. She's
Yeah.
she's like from. I think like she's like her or her family are immigrants. She's like very Latin.
No, but
yeah, she was born in New York though. She's from like the Bronx area,
Yeah.
I think, or like Washington Heights or whatever.
okay, I'll put it in
Yeah,
the
I also go B. Just everything you both said encapsulates it perfectly.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Okay, two more. Ski Mask, Lee Slumptide.
I'm pretty sure we've done Ski Mask.
Have we done Ski Mask?
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've done Ski Mask.
Am I reading it too quickly? I generated a bunch of names because I think this website's actually starting to cycle.
No.
Time to use ChatGPT, baby.
Yes, I will be finding another website actually soon. Blueface. This is
Blueface.
easy.
F
Oh,
tier.
yeah, this is
F
F.
tier.
Yeah, this is an easy F.
Tatiana was not a good enough
Free
song
shot.
for me to have to know what's going on in his personal life like 8 years later.
Yeah, no, it's
I just hate his personal life, and I think that's enough reason for
Yeah,
me.
no,
to be honest.
F tier.
To be completely honest, that is enough for me to hate him. Okay, Fat Joe, an older guy,
Oh shit.
like an older guy.
Oh my god, but he's a legend, kind of. You know, him and
Yes.
Big Pun. You know, they're legends. But the thing is, like, I've heard Fat Joe because I've heard Big Pun.
Okay, have you heard Fat Joe because of Fat Joe?
Yeah,
Nope. C minus.
I'm gonna go B out of respect. I just
I'll go C, like a solid C.
Yeah. I also like I was watching something today on TikTok. I got served a TikTok by Immortal Technique, who's an artist who I enjoy listening to him speak way more than I like listening to him rap. But he brought up like some valid points about how like about how Puerto Rican and Spanish and Latin people were like a huge part of like the early scene of hip hop. And then like over time, like their contributions have been kind of like forgotten.
Mhm.
So like, and that's definitely something I feel. I feel like, you know, we went damn near almost 2 decades without, you know, American rappers who are also like overtly Latino, like being on the boards. So I kind of want to just give them some respect for that.
I agree,
Actually,
but I think that the output relative to how he's branded himself now culturally doesn't stand up to that. Because like Purvis, I want to see if you agree with me on this. For people our age and younger, what is Fat Joe known for?
oh, I don't know Fat Joe for anything.
Yeah, I just know it was like a.
You don't
his
see-
impact, but
you
that's
don't-
about it.
You don't see rare sneakers on Fat Joe or like photos of his like sneaker collection online, because that's like
Yeah,
pretty much what I think people our age and younger know him for, is like
that's
he's the
true.
guy who did an Air Force One, and he's the guy who breaks out like rare PEs to
I-
wear courtside at the Knicks and like shit like that. It's like-
Respectfully, I think you're just thinking your own feed is reality.
no, but I mean, ask people younger than me like who he is. I bet you they don't know any songs or any music. What
Sure,
I'm saying is
but-
that there's no upkeep of that career. It's just like it was a thing, but
Yeah,
now
he's like
it's
a
not.
cultural figure. It's almost like Snoop Dogg.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it transcends music and it's into other things. But I think in
Yeah.
terms of his musical career, I think that's why that would be a C for me, because
Yeah.
there's no follow through.
When
Well,
you guys
yeah,
think
but do
the
you need
most
a follow
recent-
through though? Like, people's
I don't
music
know.
careers.
I
Aren't
mean,
gonna
he's
last
still
forever.
he's still active.
Yeah.
I mean, Snoop Dogg still puts out music,
Do you listen to
Snoop
it?
Dogg does.
not actively
I
no,
did.
but if it comes on, like
Yeah.
it's there. I know who it is.
That is true.
Yeah.
I mean, the most recent. When do you think the most recent Fat Joe album was?
Oh, I have
Do you
no
guys know?
idea. Probably
I don't know.
2008.
Jasper, do you want to guess?
2002.
2019. Family Ties. So
Wild.
Yeah. How
I've
many
never heard a
months?
song
I
like
gotta
that.
know
there's
how many.
attempts.
Well,
There's attempts. There's albums.
Oh my
His
God.
number 1 and number 3 songs on his most popular are off of his Jealous Ones 2001 album.
So a long time ago. And I actually just looked. I was just curious. Here are 18 of the most influential Latino rappers in hip hop. Big
No.
Pun.
Oh, he's been putting out singles. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Big Pun number 1, B Real number 2, Pitbull number 3, Fat Joe number 4.
yeah.
And then it
Does
kinda
Pitbull
drops off
count?
there. I don't know.
I don't think he counts. I
would
don't
say
think Pitbull is bad. I'm not anti Pitbull. I just don't think that's an accurate summation of the genre he's in.
It's just,
I think he's
it's
very
too poppy.
he's very
it's too
clearly
popular.
he's very clearly a watered down reggaeton. He's not a rapper at all.
Yeah.
Like, quote unquote rapping is not exclusive to hip hop. You know what I mean?
Right.
Also, it's worth pointing out for
Whoops.
the Fat Joe album that it is a collab album. It's not even
Yeah,
a
it
solo
is.
project. So
It is.
there's also that to consider.
I think it's hilarious that he has like almost 4 times as many listeners as Run the Jewels.
That's so wild.
Isn't that
Legacy
insane?
carries you.
Well,
Legacy
I
carries
see-
you. Older people literally just listen to what they
Yeah.
listened to growing up. They
I
do
see
not listen to new
7.3
music.
million monthly listeners. That's basically the population of New York. So it checks out.
Yeah.
It's like only New York knows. I've
Yeah.
never
They're
heard
all
any of
there.
this.
That makes sense to me. I believe that.
Okay, bet. I think
Okay.
that was 5, right?
All right. Yeah, that's 5. All right. Shall we go to the future, gentlemen?
Yes, sir. Let's travel to 2093.
Oh my god. Dude, this is a cyberpunk ass album.
No, this is a hype album. I love this album. This is his best album yet. I'm just gonna jump.
Oh,
into it.
Yeah. I thought Purvis and Jasper, you two are the Yeat fans, so I'm gonna give you guys the floor to set up like where he is in his career, what this album means.
Of course, Jasper, you should go first.
Okay. This is Yeat's transition from like straight hype music to like I think making something that stands as an album for the first time. Like as a full-fledged album. Everything else he's released so far could have been done in single form, like it was EDM releases, where it's just like packs of songs that come out. This is the first time that an artist who I think this is kind of a hot take, but I think this is the first time an artist who is like fundamentally grown up on like the new social media, specifically being like TikTok and like short feed-based video content, has released an album in like a traditional way and had it actually do any kind of successful breakthrough to like mainstream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of a really interesting place we're at, where it's like you see someone who has all the makings of like just virality suddenly transition into like making a crafted project like this. It's like an hour long and it's good and people like it.
Yeah. It is like people are talking about how good it is. Like I've had a lot of people reach out to me. Shout out Jeff, like had no idea who Yeat is, thought it was the dumbest name. He was like, dude, I was listening to it. Like I've been hearing that it's very good. So like some people like through Rachel's friends, other people have reached out to me too about this album, about like, oh shit, this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So like, this definitely, there's a groundswell moment that like, I think Yeat has been like very viral, but there's like now I think it's like almost transitioned to like being like grassroots.
Yeah, this is a bit like when I'm trying to think of like what the best equivalent thing is here. This is a bit like when I don't want to pull like a comparison that's like too old or dated, but like I guess because it's the problem is that it like lives online, right? So it's like hard to compare to stuff from the early 2000s. But it almost kind of reminds me of like when someone like Eminem started out and it was like kind of like a smaller thing and like people kind of knew about it and there was like a couple projects that were like he was a goofball and like he said a bunch of stupid shit. But then there was like the breakthrough moment of like the Marshall Mathers LP, which was like
Yeah.
critically very good and also like just wild and out there. And that's when it was like the swell of
Yeah.
like that moment. This feels a bit like that, not
Yeah.
to the same extent, but you know.
To me, and this is going to be like maybe I don't know. I think Purvis might agree with me, but this might be a bit of a stretch. To me, it feels a lot like Brockhampton. This feels a lot like the Saturation trilogy to me. Now, Brockhampton and Yeat have had
Purvis
very
days.
different like careers, but like before this project, they were basically just very
Yeah.
popular in like the hyper online spaces, right? Different
Yeah.
kinds of hyper online spaces, you know, Tumblr versus TikTok, but like they had like a very activated online fan base, you know, during their early parts of their career, during like the All American boy band era and like the last 2 years of Yeat's career, and then Saturation in 2093 hit, and then like and then there was like a moment where like people within the hip hop culture who like maybe these online spaces were kind of only intermingling with, like completely were like took notice. So I think from a cultural perspective, it reminds me a lot of Brockhampton. I think there's another layer to it that I think makes it maybe a little bit more impressive. Maybe not maybe not than the Saturation trilogy as a whole, but like I just think
Honestly,
the growth from project to project is astonishing.
yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. That's a good take. I'm
Yeah.
wearing my Brockhampton shirt right now. That's
Yeah.
actually good. I was trying to think of something recent because Jasper, I think that was an amazing way to open up the conversation. Leading up to this point, I was telling Brandon this. A lot of his music, like the albums, were okay, but they were very clearly carried by 3 or 4 songs that just like these are insanely hard, but there's nothing else to really
Yeah.
like take from it.
Yep.
So I wouldn't listen to it in the album form. I would literally go to This Is Yeat category on Spotify and listen to the bangers, and that was
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
This is the first time I sat down and fully listened to the album, like front to back, several times before we even said that we were gonna like have to review it, and then I continued to do it. So like I actually really did enjoy this album, and I was trying to think of something recent because it is that it's different. I feel like the TikTok era, because it lives online, he's one of the first ones to have that breakthrough that you were mentioning about. I don't think this is like a anywhere near like a classic album or something like
No,
that, where it's just
No.
like
not yet, at
blowing it
least.
out the water.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a staple point where it's just like, okay, wait, no, he's
No,
like
it's a
a real
point.
artist.
It,
Like,
it is
yeah.
a point. You know, another artist who like this reminds me a lot of, and this is just gonna hit home. It reminds me a lot of Mac Miller. Like Mac
Really?
Miller's
Okay.
like transition from like the mixtape space to like releasing albums and like being beloved by, you know, hip hop. Obviously there are differences. I would say like this is maybe representative of more like watching movies with the sound off, where
Mhm.
it's like, you know, this is the point where he started being taken very seriously by the culture as a whole, you know?
Yeah.
And that's another thing is that I feel like he is definitely, I think he wasn't taken very seriously before. I can see why people came to that conclusion, but I think like this is the album that makes people go like, no, like this guy has something,
He's legit.
he's cooking something up. Like there's
Yeah.
something here, you know?
Absolutely.
It's still not like for me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right? Like I can definitely listen to something and be like, "Oh, this is good." Like I think this album's very good. I really like this album. It's still not for me.
Mhm.
You know, it's like it's still not made of the stuff I really come to this genre for. But despite that, this was a gobstopper for me. Because you know, I said this to Purvis. I want to get Jasper's reaction. I like this album so much that I spent yesterday going back and listening to old Yeat stuff to make sure I wasn't tripping, to make sure I
Yeah.
wasn't
That
like
blew my mind. When
to
you
make
told me
sure.
that.
Yeah, no, I
Dude.
like this album so. And you know what? I
Yeah.
gotta keep it real. I went back. I listened to about a half hour of old Yeat. I don't think I was. I gotta keep
Well,
it real. I do not.
I gotta
And
ask
like
you this.
when we get
When you
back,
s-
when we get, and I'll name the songs I listen to and everything.
Yeah.
But like when we get to like the track break list, like it is. I think it's a very long album, and I
It is.
think the quality does swing a lot. But I think for the most part, every single song on this album is better than every single Yeat song I've ever heard.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think the quality varies wildly, but
It is it's interesting how there was a very clear jump within this album where
Yeah,
like it's very apparent where he's taking it much more serious, maybe the
yeah,
subject matter or maybe the lyrics, because previously he did have a bunch of hits that carried him and the songs did bang, but like there wasn't a lot of substance of what he was actually saying. So when we went to go see him, like when Jasper and I went to go see him, even the songs that I recognized, I was like, I don't really know what the words are, from being honest.
yeah.
Like I really don't know like
I don't even.
what's being said.
I wouldn't even use the word substance. It's just that now there are like bars,
Yeah,
right? Like,
exactly.
so like here's the thing, right? Like I definitely think like hip hop is like traditionally like the lyrics are the most important part. But in like 2013, when did Versace come out?
A while ago.
Yeah, okay. So I think when Versace came out, I think it then became in vogue to instead of the lyrics functioning as like poetry or like a medium to contain like either clever wordplay or like a substantive message,
Mm,
I think it became, oh, let me use it as a rhythm instrument and like find interesting flows in this beat and kind of like, really double down on like the groove of it.
mm.
And that's what I think like the Migos did. I think that's what Future did. I think it works. Created trap music that is like really where we are right now as like the default. And I think that's what Yeat's doing on this project,
Oh
right?
yeah, he
I
fills up
think,
the space very well.
yeah, I think like he is really, really well, like taking these really interesting beats and like really delivering like really, really good flows and like lyrics that are good enough that I can appreciate the flows. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Uh, Whereas I think previously on pretty much every song I heard, I think
The beat
he
carried hard.
the beat carries hard, and I think like I think his not just like not just the words. I think like the actual sonic aspects of his voice like ruined the songs.
Hmm.
Right? Like
Mm.
not the lyrics, it's not that he's saying whack shit. It's that like the way he was delivering it just I also do not think like the production on the early Yeat stuff is as impressive as some people say. Right?
Okay.
I think there was a huge step up in production for this album, like where things started sounding a lot more cohesive, started having I think like really strong, well developed like low range, mid range, and melodies.
Hmm.
But yeah, so like to me, like because I just was not a huge fan of Yeat, this is just gobstopping because I think this is a huge, huge uptick in quality.
Yeah. Honestly, I personally agree with all of that. So I guess should we get into the first listens then? Your first impressions?
Sure. Oh, I'll keep it real with you guys. Like I only got through this whole thing once because as
Okay.
much as I like this album, this shit's far too long. Far too long. I think this has maybe the worst case of like scorpion syndrome I have ever seen in my life. I think in some ways, I think it's much worse than Scorpion.
I mean, how many songs does Scorpion have? Because this has 24 and it's 77 hours or 77 minutes. So
Yeah.
I completely understand the comparison.
Yeah. Well,
Scorpion was one of the
I definitely think Scorpion had like much lower lows, right? I think like the
Mm,
worst songs are Scorpion are nowhere near as good as the worst songs on 2093.
that
But
is
I
true.
think the thing is that like Scorpion, there was like very clearly like a 45-minute good album in here. To me, I feel like there's like a really solid 45-minute album in this. Like that's just
Mhm.
like all like doesn't have any of like the extra filler. And like maybe it's just me because like I don't mind a short project. I think there's a 35-minute version of this project that damn near could have been a classic. Really, like I think that they're like I think like the impulse to make this as big as possible is the worst part of this album, right? And it's not
Mhm.
that any of the individual songs are particularly bad. I don't think that's true. I think pretty much every song on here is better than anything I've heard by Yeat. But I think like, if you would have done some more consistent editing, I think there's nothing keeping some of the material on this album from being a classic.
Mhm. I mean, there really is a beauty in having the simplicity behind the album. Like we said, it's better to leave an album wanting more, like the patience,
Yeah.
than to leave an album to be like, we need to cut like half of this down.
Yeah.
So I totally get that.
Right. Now, like, listen, I listened to this album all the way through only once, but like
Mhm.
maybe how many songs are there? 22.
24.
I'd say probably about 14 of the songs I've listened to a dozen times.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jasper, what did you think coming into this thing? What was your first listen
Yeah.
like?
What was your first listen like?
I listened to it all the way through twice. Initially, it didn't necessarily strike me production-wise, the first couple tracks, as being like a major departure from his original sound. Now, when I say original sound, I wanted to actually kind of circle back. Brandon, when you went through and you listened to old Yeat, like what did you listen to? Because
Let me pull it up.
there's like I think there's like a moment in his discography where I think there's a bit of a light switch in terms of like what was versus what is. And I think there's some projects that were more recent that fall more towards this side of like his sound than prior.
I mean, I listened to some songs off Life. I listened to Out the Way, which I didn't particularly like. I listened to Money So Big, which I know is like really early.
Yeah.
I listened to On the Line. I listened to Flawless, the one with Little Uzi.
Love that song.
Like I thought Flawless was the best one, and it was still like I found it like kind of annoying.
Gotcha.
Like
It's the chant.
yeah. I listened to Poppin'. I listened to Get Busy, right?
This is like the
there's
This
a lot
Is
of the
Yeat,
big
pretty
ones.
much.
Yeah.
you heard
So
a lot
like,
of
and
them.
I just thought none of them were like, honestly, like I think mediocre would be being very generous. And like,
Gotcha.
and I say this, having just said that 2093 damn near could have been a classic, with some editing, and at time of recording is my favorite album of the year, probably. Like,
Yeah.
So I just went back and I just couldn't fuck with it,
I
But
appreciate you going back. Actually,
I
totally.
always do. I never, if I hate on something, it's because I've exposed myself to it. Like when I don't listen to something, I shut the fuck up. Right? Like, so
What's interesting is that like I agree with your point about like trimming the fat off this. It would definitely be like a more concise project. And I just think it's funny because Life, the 2022 album, is probably pretty much that exact structure that we're looking for. It's just like he's done it in the past. Just for whatever reason, this album is like a lot more bloated.
yeah.
With that said, like man, when you get toward the middle of this thing,
The
it
middle
starts
is
to make
vicious.
Man.
The middle is vicious. Yeah. No. Yeah.
It starts to make sense. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, we got dynamics at play here. We're not at the same consistent energy level for 7 songs in a row.
Yeah. No.
Breathe is the new hardest thing. Like this is this
theme.
year's
Yeah.
this is this year's modern jam for me.
No.
So
Yeah.
far.
Breathe is insane. Yeah. Breathe is insane. Like I could not, like, it's a mind-blowing song. I love, like I sent Jasper a
He is
meme.
floating with that.
I sent Jasper a meme, and I'll get back to this because I actually don't completely feel this way about all these songs. But I was like, Psycho CEO. I'm like, this is cool, but like, I'm not feeling it. It's like Power Trip. It's like, all right. And it's like Breathe.
okay.
Like,
Started going crazy.
Hits,
yeah. And then I think More is also incredible.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people like Bought the Earth. I thought that was okay. So basically, I think there
I don't
are.
mind it.
I think there are 3 tiers of tracks here. I think there are tracks that are just fine, right? They're just fine. They're just okay. And once again, like I think that is better than everything Yeat has put out. I think there are also then tracks that are like very good. Like this is like awesome, like carving out its own lane. Maybe it's not like transcendental, but like it's very good. And then you have tracks that are like, this is like iconic. Like this is like a codification of a song, like a codification of a new sound that feels like a development of a lot of things I like. Kind of feels like Rodeo a little bit. Rodeo's a better album, but like, it kind of feels like, getting back to Rodeo, getting back to House of Balloons. You're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate me for saying this. But like, it's so noisy. It feels like getting back to like Run the Jewels too. Like it feels like that too to me. Like I have I put a couple songs from this on my like my bangers playlist, and I had what was it? Stand on It come on right after Close Your Eyes, and I was just like
It does hit.
It's
really
just
does.
and like the noisy production, I think clearly is something I'm really into. So like, and to me, like a lot of Yeat's earlier stuff sounded very chaotic. To me, this feels like someone who has like dominated the chaos and like made it into something, right? That's why I like those early LP projects, because that's what it sounds like. It feels like he took like this wall of sound and organized it into a song, like through like sheer force of will, and that's like kind of the same vibe I'm getting from this album, right? And I even think he kind of looks like LP on the cover, so I don't think it's like
It's not a stretch now.
One thing that's super impressive about this to me also is that even though it's too long, at 22 songs, 2 features on the bass version.
Yeah,
and
impressive.
Neither one of them is really of note. Like, he carries this entire project himself, pretty much.
I disagree with that a little bit.
I think they're good features. I think he does better on the song, but I think they're good features.
Yeah, I mean, they're all right. The Lil Wayne one is not anything super exciting to me personally.
I think, and it is like, I think the song with Future is like a high point on super high point.
No,
on
yeah,
the
it's
album.
good, 100%.
And like, granted, like I don't think Future is better than Yeat on the song, but I also do not think that same song with a second Yeat verse would have been anywhere near as good.
That's fair.
You know, that's fair. And another thing is, I feel like there is a lot of Future influence throughout this entire project. That to keep it real, like, and maybe this is probably a lot more subjective. So like, if Purvis, especially, if you disagree, let me know. But I just didn't feel that huge Future influence like in his early work, and I feel like it was kind of like what he needed, like the kind of like almost like a sense of urgency, like to like, you know, find those grooves and like the beats and everything. I think like that has really been like, that's what I like Future, and that's what I really liked about Yeat on this project.
Yeah, what I would say, I think there was some influence previously. It shines much more now. You're correct. There's a very big difference in the jump of quality influence that like someone like Future would have on him.
It sounds way more like Future than it used to.
Oh, absolutely. In the past, I think there was other aesthetics kind of built into his music that kind of changed how he kind of flowed with his music, because it was focused on just like rage. It almost seemed like he was just young TikTok star going hard for the youth. Yeah. Now I feel like this album is actually meant for like real people that enjoy hip hop. Just
right, yeah, it's a
very big difference.
Yeah, it definitely is. I definitely feel that a lot.
I guess should we do the track list then? We already started talking about some.
Yeah, let's run through the track list really quick. What did we all think of Psycho CEO?
I like it. I think it's a good opener.
It grew on me. It grew on me a lot. That was what I said, like the original thing. Psycho CEO grew on me a lot. I do hate all the business talk on this album. I don't care.
You don't want to be a futuristic CEO?
I don't know.
Buying buildings?
They're going to be who I kill.
This is just Yeat's audition to be a NPC in like a storyline in Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Yeah, Yeat should be in a futuristic Grand Theft Auto game. Like,
that'd be sad.
I literally sent it to. I think I maybe sent this to Purvis. I'm like, it feels like selling drugs and smoking blunts in the future. Like, it really does.
Yes, it does. It really does.
Like if Schoolboy Q was in 2093, he'd be listening to this. Like,
yeah, this could be the soundtrack for like every Love, Death, and Robots episode. Like, a different song off of this could be like the theme or the song for every single one of those episodes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Psycho CEO, Power Trip. What do we think about Power Trip?
Even better in my opinion. I love that bass.
I love I like the beat. I like the chorus a lot. Like, because it switches up a lot. I like the chorus, but the verses didn't hit for me. I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
No.
Yeah.
I like the bass with it. I love his right before the cut. I think it's like right at the 3-minute mark or something like that. It hard cuts into a whole nother beat. I love that beat switch and that lead up to it. It just sounds really good. I like that song a lot.
I like this one's good. I do like Psycho CEO better because I think the vocal inflection on Psycho CEO is like more memorable. The hook of like the "don't like that" where it like goes up at the end is just like that really catches me for sure. So it's like there's more to dig into there for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we get into a highlight.
Yeah, "Breathe" is iconic. Like "Breathe" is
the best off the album.
Iconic song.
Hard.
Maybe the best song of the year. You know, not the only songs that compete for better song of the year are the songs for the album that comes out tomorrow. Which also, look, I really Back in Love is incredible.
What about like?
that
Well,
album's
what about All Is Yellow? Like, Stop Giving Me Advice.
I do like Stop Giving Me Advice a lot.
I'd say that's up there.
I think Breathe clears every song on All Is Yellow. I
so
like
far, in my opinion.
True,
Yeah,
that's fair.
I think
valid.
Breathe
You're
clears
not
every-
wrong.
right. And to be honest, I think there are other songs. Like I like the Morrissey song by The Alchemist a lot. But like I think Breathe is the only song I like. I can definitely say I like more than Breathe is Back in Love, which has not been officially released yet. But yeah.
I just want to see it live.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
We're going. If he goes on tour, we're going.
You'll have to. I'll pay you back with interest. But yeah, I definitely think
just the chant.
Oh my God, Breathe. That's gonna be the new thing. We just text each other in the middle of the day. It's just like Breathe. No, this is excellent, and I honestly would really like this in a festival setting. I think that song specifically would just rip through.
Well, boy, do I have good news for you. We'll talk about things after the podcast.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm not an idiot. Like, all right, let's talk about More. I think More is also one of the better songs on the project. It's just putting it after Breathe was kind of rough. Like,
yeah, it's a tough
honestly, I would have flipped More and Bought the Earth because I think Bought the Earth is cool. I think it's fine, but I think like it would have been better like as a buffer between Breathe and More.
For More, I started recognizing. I don't know if it's like a distortion or whatever sound it is, but it starts building that atmosphere, and like I see it more and more into the album. And this is where he kind of introduced it. I love that, like the grittiness of it. It just sounds
like
so
the dark, gritty future. It sounds like it's very.
So dark.
I think it's very interesting because like I think cyberpunk is a genre that has had like most of its like seminal works in mediums with music. So things like movies, things like video games, things like TV shows, things like web series, it was created in books, but like it has had more. So like there's like a soundscape to it that I think Yeat is definitely invoking intentionally here. It's called 2093. Like,
Exactly. Let me see.
All right, what's the next one? Jasper, what did you think about Bought the Earth?
I like it. I think this is the spot where we start to see a little more of like the dynamics change.
Yeah, I'll give you the dynamics. I think the dynamics is completely fair.
It's like it's a good change up. It's like we get a lot of high energy condensed throughout Breathe and More specifically. And then this is like a little bit of a decompression, and I like that he starts to discuss, some personal things, some topics.
Yes.
It's not just like bitches and Tonkas and all that other shit. It's like, this is we're starting to learn about Yeat the person. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, who is
also while we're going down that road, I just want to also say props to him for getting clean and also for taking better care of himself. Look at his Spotify like about the artist picture and look at this album cover. He's been making some changes.
He is healthy right now.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's really good for him.
Yeah,
that's actually something you just brought up something earlier. I feel like this is Yeat mostly. I'm trying to find the right words for it. You know what? Never mind. Forget it. But what I want to say about the Earth as well, it is him slowing down. Oh, that's what I was going to say. It is much more personal. Like
Yeah.
A lot of the lyrics, I have never heard him actually discuss his personal life in the past. It is all about flexing. Now, completely different.
Yeah,
like
I
actually
actually
feel like I'm learning about him, and he's talking about like maybe friends and family around him that didn't believe in him, or other people that just like aren't truly writing for him, and he's actually expressing like I'm kind of over it. I'm doing my own thing. I'm in my own lane.
It really does like feel like I know it's completely congruent with his old stuff. Because like when I went back and listened to it, I feel like, okay, 2093 is not completely left field, right? Like it feels like it builds from that. But it really is like a complete like reboot. Like I feel like most artists who would put out an album like this would almost change their name like with it.
Yeah.
Like it really is wild. Now, what do we think about Nothing Changed? Because this is another highlight for me. I really like Nothing Changed.
Real quick, I just want to say one more thing. The part that started to sell me on this album being different in that way is when you hear from someone like Yeat with Yeat's discography. You hear him say the words, "Am I wrong for being selfish?" It's like you
It's
can
like he has
grasp
thoughts.
that.
He has
Right.
thoughts. He's looked in the mirror and seen himself. Like,
Yeah, am I wrong for putting me first? Like, dude, whoa, where was this in 2022? Give us this. Like,
Yeah.
You didn't
it's so
talk
cool.
about any of that.
No,
One of the
definitely.
Yeah.
lines in Brought the Earth is literally, he says, "I never look back on the bridge I burnt." And it's just like, tell me
That's
about
wild.
this bridge you
Yeah.
burnt.
Damn, yeah.
You never mentioned this before.
It's like you usually just say the word Balenciaga in a way I don't understand. Like,
No, that's Uzi when he's like, Balenci.
Yeah, Jesus.
oh my
Okay.
god,
But nothing changed. Yes.
nothing
And
changed.
he
I think
goes
it's-
even deeper into
Yeah.
it. People don't change.
Yeah.
yeah,
Things change, life change. People do not change.
Yeah.
They act the same way no matter what.
yeah.
So hard.
So You Should Know, I think, is another one that I think I really liked. How did we
Oh.
like?
I was gonna say, so you didn't listen to part 2,
No, I did not.
right? Okay, so part 2 has As We Speak. The Drake
I listened
feature.
to As We Speak before we started the podcast. Like right before we started
Okay.
the podcast, I listened to the song with Drake. But that was it. And that was a huge takeaway I have from this project, just because like it seems more than anyone else like that he's worked with. I think Drake has been the one who has publicly like embraced Yeat the most.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, you know, regardless of our feelings on Drake, I actually think it is easily the weakest feature on the project. Not a bad song. I would definitely put it in that middle tier of songs on the project. But yeah, no, I thought like when I originally saw this and saw that there wasn't a Drake feature, I was like, this is odd. You know, that does not
It is
seem
a
like
little
how it would be, you know?
Yeah.
Considering they literally just worked together too.
Yeah. And on a huge hit too,
Mhm.
you know?
I mean, the
like,
song
yeah.
sounds somewhat similar to that song, but again, he carries them in my
Yeah.
opinion. So
yeah, he carried that other song too. Like, you know,
he really carried that up.
yeah, he really carried
The
that
other
other
song's
song.
better.
Well, you don't count the money for fun.
Dude,
No. No.
Money for fun.
Yeah. But yeah,
let him live.
let him live. At least he showed up when Jermaine was on the track with him. Like,
That is true.
yeah,
Thank
at least
you
he shows
for
up for
that.
that one, you know.
He'll probably be on J. Cole's next.
Yeah, he was about to.
I'm about to, I'm
I
about
hate you
to,
so much.
I'm about to, I love that.
No, that part goes hard. You will not hate on that part.
I'm
It's just
about
silly.
to,
It's like he's losing his train of thought.
yeah.
Literally me. But yes, you should know. Into actually, you should know. Highlight maybe.
Maybe not
The
for me
synth
because
is
the
insane.
next few
Or even better.
are
That-
huge for me.
that is true.
Yeah, the huge one.
Ooh,
Like, go ahead.
one thing, the opening that you should know with the synth that kind of does the lifting almost
Mhm.
reminds me a little bit of the intro to Glow On.
So
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
it does.
It's like
Yeah,
it's
no,
like if it were like more.
it's the same like
there
kind of
more
arpeggio.
attack.
No,
Yeah.
I felt that. I 100% agree.
I understood that.
Yeah. Definitely. And yeah, I liked You Should Know a lot. Although like the second I put this album on, I was dying to get to track 8. You know, even
Yeah,
though like
so-
I liked songs before it even more, you know, like I needed to know like what a Yeat Lil Wayne song sounded like, and it sounded good, not great. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I really love the All You Want Is Diamonds, All I Want Is Violence. That's sick. I love that. Like
That's me.
that's me. I don't give a shit about material objects. I do give a shit about fires. I like setting fires. Like
No, yeah, it is interesting hearing a little. It's such a difference in age and generation and like everything about their careers, how they come together. I would have never.
no, yeah. And
Like that.
another thing is that like you know, I can definitely see like some very sharp wordplay level lyricism on this. I definitely think that there's some bars here. And
Absolutely.
I would have liked to maybe seen as much Lil Wayne influence as the Future influence.
Ooh,
You know?
what a combination.
Yeah.
But then we get into I Love.
Oh
Beck.
my god, this is
Absolutely
my
hard.
second favorite song on the album. This
This goes
song
hard.
this song goes insane. I I
There's so
showed it
much
to
chaos.
Rachel. I showed it to Rachel, and she's like, "Oh, I do not like this." Like, she's like, "This is terrifying." Like,
Too intense.
she's like,
if
"This
you have not-
scares those." Like,
Yeah, if
This
you have
would
not
scare the whole
been prepped for Yeat, jumping into this directly,
she liked Breathe.
definitely.
She liked
Okay.
Breathe. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a little bit more digestible. Just
Less-
hearing "I love when you rage," it's just like I would want to hear this live. It's just like
Yeah.
It's just more wall of noise for sure. There's like a lot more of that going on.
It just, I feel like it's a wall of noise, but I feel like the groove to it is just so insane.
It's undeniable.
I don't think like his older stuff had any of that like heavy groove work in it. But I love this track. This track is fucking stupendous.
and it's low-key a love song. Like,
Yeah.
it's just how
Yeah.
he loves.
This is what a Yeat love song would sound like if it was good. Like,
And honestly, I'll take it.
yeah, no,
Like,
this song is I think this song is like damn near iconic. I really love this song. Yeah, and I love this entire until Keep Pushing. Insane.
all of it's great.
I love Tell Me. I love Shade. I love all the like switches up in Shade. I thought that was fucking awesome.
Mm.
I think Keep Pushing gets
Honestly,
very annoying very fast. Like
Shade, Keep Pushing gets. Shade reminded me of Jesus a lot.
yeah,
Like a lot, especially. Oh my god! But yeah, all of it. The chorus, the sounds exactly like something out of Yeezus. So that's what I was thinking you were gonna say Kanye earlier.
No, yeah, no, yeah. I think the Yeezus influence is like obvious. I just think like we've gotten so far from Yeezus that I don't even know if I recognize it anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Purvis, I'm gonna challenge you on this. I don't think Shade sounds like Yeezus. I think Shade sounds like 808s.
Really?
Yeah, listen to the just the beat of it and like the what it does with like the like drum, like it's almost like a kick, but it's like pitched up like crazy.
Yeah.
It sounds like the opening track of 808s. What the hell is it called? I don't remember. Say you will.
I think honestly, I could hear that. Like at the 2:30 mark where it starts with that distortion.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Honestly, it could be either one. I could see 808s as well, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is the two dark versions of Kanye. I mean, there's a lot of dark versions of Kanye.
Sad Kanye, angry Kanye.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sadness and anger emotions are hand in hand. So
Yeah.
I can see it.
Ugh.
Yeah, I guess we made it all the way to Keep Pushing. To be honest, at this point, not that I got tired, but I did have to take a break.
You got to keep pushing, man. Come on.
It was a lot. Ride and Set It Off slows down for me a lot.
Yeah. I liked Ryan Set It Off. I thought Ryan Set It Off was like a really effective, like dynamic switch. Maybe it's just because I love riots and love setting it off. But no, I thought this Ride and Set It Off I liked a lot. But Keep Pushing I thought was like, okay, this is strictly just fine. Right? Like,
Yeah. Ryan Set It Off has an interesting backing beat. It kind of reminds me of a dance track.
yeah, it's like a dance track. It's like it's a very weird song, but I think it works for me. I think it pulls it off, definitely.
Yeah, it's like if Yeat were operating on the time signature of like a lot of the stuff that's in Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
Like, as a soundtrack. It reminds me like this. I think it's very similar in terms of time signature to something like Derezed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
definitely
sure.
think so.
God, what would Yeat sound like as produced by Daft Punk?
Jesus. It'd be intense, I'll put it that way.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then we get into Team CEO.
Which
Who
I
is
really
the
liked.
CEO?
I liked this a lot. Yeah, I thought Team CEO went hard. I will say this, like he says the phrase 2093 so much each time I kept looking, I'm like, are we at the title track? Like, I'm like, I know there is a title track. Are we there yet?
There
like,
is a title track, yes.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, no, I Team CEO is probably the worst example of it, even though I think it's one of in that top tier of song on the album. I really, really like it. But it was like the worst example of like, this should be the title. And I'm going to say it. I think it should have been the title track. I think the title track is one of the weakest songs on the album.
And we get into it right next. So
Yeah.
you didn't like 2093 as much?
No, not as much. I thought it was just like a little repetitive and boring.
The beat just makes you want to go.
Yeah, but Yeah, but I don't know. That was
I mean,
by like I thought he was gonna, because he had like such high highs before this. I was
yes.
like,
Yeah,
God
it's
damn,
like
I'm
too vibey.
yeah, I think it's just like too vibey. I think it's too laid back. Is it a bad song? No. Is it the worst song on the album? Quite possibly.
It has the least amount of actual lyrics, so
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, am I here for Yeat and Yeat's contribution to these songs? Yes. Am I here for the lyrics per se? No.
yeah.
Even though I think that there's plenty of good bars on this, but it's not why I'm here.
Yeah, no, I get that.
All right, not time to get to to a classic song. Stand on
A
it.
perfect combination.
Fucking, I put it all together like a job.
It's so hard,
Dude,
Big
it's
chains,
so
big
good.
guns, big chunks. Like I just want to be at a
So
concert,
good.
just going.
How you say I'd
crazy.
stand that shit when all we see you is sitting? So good.
Yeah,
This
wow.
song goes so hard. If I could see any song this year with a feature so far, it would be this, and I don't think anything's gonna top it. Like
no, nothing's.
this is a hair below breathe for me. I love this song so much, and this was the snippet that made me think like, oh, I'll probably like 2093. Like I heard the snippet for this, and I was like, oh, I will probably like this. I really like this song, and it didn't. The full version did not let me down. So I liked this a lot.
Absolutely. This was definitely a high point for me as well. He even
course it
brings
is.
back
You
the
love-
King Tonka. Love
Yeah,
it.
King Tonka. What is that a thing? Is that a thing they say?
That used to be one of his themes, like in one of his older albums. He
Yeah.
talks about Tonka trucks a lot. So
Okay, weird.
Jasper knows.
Yeah, like I bought a big truck, and so like Tonka just became slang for truck pretty
Yeah.
much in his.
He literally had a
vocabulary.
Tonka chain.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one of the
Yeah.
cover albums.
Yeah,
But yeah, high point, absolutely.
yeah. What did you think, Jasper?
I like it a lot. This is the strongest feature on the album for me, for sure.
Mhm.
I think that the way it starts, I like the fact that he just kind of dives right in.
Yeah,
That's
no,
very,
I
very,
think goes so hard.
yeah, it's very reminiscent of like some of his older stuff in that way, but like it carries the kind of like wall of noise and like the level of detail in the production and the mix that is across the entire project. It's just that we're seeing him like kind of almost, I think, fuse some of the styles across his projects so far, and I think that that's like really cool to see. It's like he can go in and out of like all of these different aesthetics, almost like these aesthetic choices, and make them work together.
He actually has like 3 different main voices, and
Yeah.
he uses all of them in this album. So it's phenomenal. He has range, and it impressed me.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia. You know that Childish Gambino is on Power Trip.
Really?
Yeah, he like he's not a credited feature in the title, but like he's in the credits of the album.
I knew that he was credited, but I still don't know quite what it's for.
It's on Power Trip. I don't know, like it
What
just
he
says
did or-
background vocals.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it.
Yeah,
Again.
and Breathe actually interpolates an episode of the regular show I watched this week.
Yeah,
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
that I did know actually.
Yeah.
And then
Got
we
him.
get into Familia.
Familia.
I honestly really like this song a lot.
I like it. I was put in that middle tier. I think it's very good. Didn't think it was just fine. I thought it was good. I just,
Mhm.
I think it's just behind a really strong song for me.
That is also
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
It also feels a bit like it diluted out the way.
Yeah.
It's also him just flexing because he actually is starting to talk about him like wanting better for himself.
Yeah.
It seems like he might have. I don't know the background. He hasn't really dived into it that much in his previous music, but it
Yeah.
seems like he did spend a lot of time recently cutting off a lot of baggage, people that was holding him down.
Yeah.
So,
And it
It
seems
is
that this is the only song with production by Benny X.
because
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah, which is wild.
that man almost carried him for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeat should thank Benny X in every single album he ever releases. Like,
Yes.
and then Mr. In Between It.
Brandon, what did you think of this one?
I did not like it. I thought this was like one of the more okay ones.
Mhm.
True. I figured you might appreciate like the kind of Kavinsky-esque.
I liked the song. I liked the production of it. I just thought like, yeah, as a whole thing. I
Yeah.
also liked the song, like the next 2 songs a lot.
Yeah.
So, and they all kind of blur together to me a little bit. Like, definitely
Yeah.
more so than anywhere else on the album. I think it starts to blur in the back. Not necessarily get like worse. I don't think like the quality goes down. I just think it starts to blur. And I thought Mr. In Between It was just kind of like, yeah, I appreciated the very synthy production, but it just didn't pop off for me the way like Psycho Kane did, which I really, really liked.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I like Psycho Kane a lot.
It does start to blur at the end.
Yeah, it really, really does. Like, I think 1093 is like the only one that feels like really self-contained.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I like Psycho Kane and I love Run They Mouth. Like, I really like those songs. Like, I don't think like, once again, I don't think it's like a matter of like track to track quality. I just think it's just like the way it feels. It's also just a side effect of this album being as long as it is, which like, once again, like, I don't think there's many out and out bad songs on this album, but like this thing is far too long, dude.
It is long.
You know, like especially like sitting here and talking about it now, like, you know, it's
It's 24 tracks.
yeah, it's a
long.
lot, and it should not have been. This should have been a 17 track album. Like, and the other thing is that, and this is a question I just have for you guys, right? Because I feel like there are like two contrasting influences here, right? Because it's a really heady, almost like sci-fi theme. So part of me wants to think that it's long in an effort to make it feel epic, right? Which is just, I just think completely fails, to be honest. Like, I think the album's very, very good, but I just don't think it truly has like that epic quality because of its length. It makes it feel more like a slog than an epic. But the other thing is just like the reason why every album is so long now. And it's just like, do you think that the influence of streaming is just that, like, you know, he just can't make these songs and only release 17 of them because even though it makes a worse product, a worse experience, because and Yeat more than anyone else, like a streaming artist, you know. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's more just a product of its environment because
yeah,
all the albums we get nowadays are almost
yeah.
too long.
And like, look, there are artists I hold at a much higher standard than Yeat who like fall victim to it. So like, I'm not going to lay it completely at his feet. You know.
Oh yeah,
like,
and
go ahead.
I was gonna say the other thing is that you mentioned as well. He's a streaming artist. He blew up on TikTok. So the more songs you get out there previously, especially in the context of like this isn't gonna be like some deep album. Like just get as many hits out you can. If they hit, they hit.
My thing is that I feel like that almost undervalues like what this album is now. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying this one. Previously he did it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know. So yeah. And then we have the last two tracks.
Yeah. I think if We Being Real was the last track, I'll be happier. Because I feel like he kind of covers all of the actual topics that he talks about. He talks about the drug abuse. He talks about cutting people off, building, reaching new heights. It kind of all wraps it up pretty nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last like 4 or 5 songs, not including the close, are a little jumbled just in terms of like, yeah, they don't sound super differentiated like some of the other things that play with dynamics do. But I think that 1093 does wrap it up really nicely toward the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think it comes together in the end, and you feel like you did have like kind of a overall, you know, cohesive album experience. Maybe not like a super tight one, but it's an album, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, story to tell, and he did pretty damn well.
Yeah. No, I think this is an unmitigated success for you as far as I'm concerned. I just think, you know, what would have been if it could like rise above like the streaming demands, you know, and create like a fully like a edited and like refined experience, you know, because like that's the thing that stays with you forever, right? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be listening to all of these songs probably well into 2026. Well, a whole lot of them, but like, I'll probably never listen to this album all the way through again because it's a slog, right? And while I appreciate like the dynamics, and I do like admit that he's doing that. Like, I am not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it's very one note. And like, I don't even think he's unsuccessful, but I don't think it's like quite there, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna listen to the album through again just to like get a final feel and see like what I really want to add to my regular rotation. But man, yeah, there's at least like 3 or 4 here that are just like, for me, I think already like they're gonna be at a classic level at some point
Mhm.
in some form, whether it's like because they're iconic musically or because they have actually like pretty solid lyrics or some combination of the two. It's just
Mhm.
it's a I think a pretty pivotal point in the career right now, and I think that it's nice that people are seeing it, and I hope that it continues in this direction.
Yeah. Specifically for him, I hope he can do something else like this in a more compact setting. Give me 15 songs, and I will be extremely satisfied.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I shamelessly listened to this probably about 10 times already,
Yeah.
like front to back. So I
Ah,
liked it a lot.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but
Well, yeah.
should we?
Do you just want to give
I
it a
guess
grade and get out of here?
yeah.
Because we did
Give it a
talk
rating.
about it pretty thoroughly. I liked it a
Yes.
lot. And here's the thing, right? Like, this is why I love and hate our grading scale, right? Because, like, I feel like there should be a curve for Yeat, right? I'm like, I'm not, and you guys aren't going to feel this way because you guys don't think all of his stuff before this was very mediocre. But, like, there's a part of me that wants to give this an A minus because it's just so diluted from what it could be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, unlike albums that clearly have like a more refined version, I feel like there are like layers of refined versions. There are multiple different like sequence track lists you could make out of this that would make a more satisfying album to me. But like what's there is like super impressive. So like part of me wants to do the whole A+ because it's like I cannot imagine. I do not remember a time where an artist has done such a 360 for me. Like I
Mm-hmm.
I am struggling to think of it, right?
Travis would be the only thing that comes close, right?
And even that like when I went back and listened to the earlier Yeat stuff, like remember how we talked about how like there was like House of Balloons which like arrived fully formed, right? Like that's on one end of a scale. And then there was like Owl Pharaoh, which like has like elements of it, but still needed to be refined and like
It's very
it still
raw,
needed to
yeah.
become rodeo, right? I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of Yeat stuff is even like another step, right? Like, where it's like, yeah, there are like sounds and ideas there that like after like iteration after iteration after iteration will become something worthwhile, and even like fully codify a new sound. So like the highs of this are blinding, to me.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm probably gonna wind up. I'm just gonna go with a straight A. I fucking really really like this project. It was a great time having a Yeat project be my favorite album for 4 days of the year. like, like, like
What
there's a
kind of
school.
upside down world are we living
Right,
in?
Yeah.
it was a nice,
You gave us 4 days.
It was
I'm
it was
taking
70
crazy
degrees
days.
out. It was 70 degrees out in February. A
And then
Yeat album
tornadoes.
was my favorite album.
Wild.
It was a weird week, right? But now Schoolboy Q and that Mexican OT are going to return us to the natural order. Like,
And that's all that matters.
also, speaking of, and I don't know if this is just because like he's on my brain right now because I'm like really into what he's doing. But if there's a rapper who like really excels over like weird beats, who I would have loved to have seen on this, it's Schoolboy. I think he's a natural fit for something like this. Like I know that might be controversial, but like his old stuff was all about like going hard as shit over the weirdest possible beats. I think this is a playground for him.
It's
Did
funny that you
you
say
see
that.
the tweet? Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say
what
you
tweet?
on Twitter. Jasper, do you want to say it?
No,
We both
go
thought
ahead.
it.
Go on.
He literally tweeted to Tyler the Creator. He like is upset that he wasn't on Who That Boy
Who?
because
Schoolboy?
because he wanted to be on that song.
Oh my god.
Well,
And so he,
we
literally
can't
what you just
deny it
said
ASAP.
is what he wanted.
Wait, who that boy? Of Tyler?
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
it Who That Boy?
I'm
With
talking about.
Tyler and ASAP?
Yeah, that's
No,
okay.
I'm saying there's a tweet this week
Yeah.
that literally Schoolboy was saying he wants to be on weird beats and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Somebody had tweeted him like, "What's a song or a beat you want to be on?" or something like that.
Oh,
And
and
he
it was
added
like
Tyler
who that boy?
saying like, "I wanted to be on Who That Boy. I'm upset that they put that out without me." Or
Oh
something
my
like that.
god, yeah. But
I
yeah,
don't
no,
know.
like I
The
would have.
ASAP verse was
Yeah,
classic.
I would have loved like a Schoolboy verse on Shade or on I Love, or any one of like the more like grittier, Team CEO. I think a Schoolboy verse would have been excellent. So, well, I totally think that could just be like where my mind is right now.
Mhm.
You know who
Yeah,
I think
I'm
would
ready
have
to
been cool on this?
What?
I think Danny Brown would have been cool on this.
Yeah, Danny Brown's another one. Danny Brown would have been really great on this.
Oh, he can survive in a chaotic
Yeah,
atmosphere,
no,
chaotic heat.
yeah, no, the hoes will be terrified.
Yeah.
But I love times 2. But yeah.
Yeah,
Jasper, do you want to go then?
Yeah, I'm gonna go just because like I don't necessarily I do enjoy a good amount of the earlier Yeat stuff. I actually really like Alive as a project. That's like my favorite one as a whole of the rest of them. That's like 2022. Um I don't know. I don't necessarily feel that like I feel like he's definitely made serious progress here. I think that some of his earlier stuff, while not as fully formed, definitely still was like for what he was doing at the time, pretty solid. As a project, though, in terms of like the scale and scope, this is just like far and away much better. I would give this an A minus for sure. I think that it like differentiates itself enough, but for me personally, given that I did enjoy the earlier stuff, it's like not enough of a departure, or it's not as much of a departure in my eyes as it would be.
yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, but
Um,
so good, like as a whole. And the fact that it's as long as it is and we're giving it that praise, I think is also just a testament to how good a lot of the content actually is.
very, very true. Um, I probably sit around the same thing. I was thinking an A minus, somewhere around that range. I don't think it's quite an A plus yet, just because like
yeah,
there is a lot of stuff you can cut, a lot of fat
yeah,
you can cut off. I did enjoy his previous music, but this is the actual first like listening experience that like I wanted to sit down and listen to this over and over, and like I can listen to it playing a game, I can listen to it while driving, I can do whatever, and I got to give him his props for that. So I'm sitting around an A. Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Oh, I do not have any recommended songs right
I have two.
I have two.
I have
now.
two.
Okay.
Yeah, I have
Y'all,
two.
y'all
I
gonna
have
have
two
to go
ready to go.
first.
All right, I'll go. I've had this one locked and loaded for a while, and I almost did it 2 weeks ago because he was in the news. It's a rock song. It's incredible. It's like some throwaway single from the late 2000s. This is probably the most famous musical artist we've ever recommended. Uh,
Okay.
it's I Don't Want to Stop by Ozzy Osbourne.
Bet.
Yeah, it goes so hard. It's just like a weird throwaway single from like 2009, but it's so good.
Mm-hmm. But let's look into this.
Yeah.
All right, Jasper.
Breathe. It's what I wanted to recommend. It's
Yeah.
what I wanted to recommend last week, and we didn't do Rex last week, so I'm doing
Yeah.
it now.
Okay, fair enough.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how this came up on one of my shuffles, but I went back and listened to The Dream. And the song "I Love Your Girl" just absolute bangs, a classic. As soon as you
Amazing.
hear it, takes you back to like middle school.
Amazing.
But yeah.
All right. My next one. I smell bitch. Arsenal. I smell bitch featuring Denzel Curry, Mike Dimes. Hell yeah. This song goes so hard. How'd you get all them sticks? Sticks. Call me Zel Chapo? Zel Chapo? Insane. Unregulated. Oh, Denzel Curry. Put 2093. Denzel Curry. I want that so bad.
That would be a good combination. All right, but Jasper.
So another artist I really like put out an album this month. It's not going to make it on the podcast, but I want to talk about it anyway. We finally have a full Elliot Moss album constructed out of most of the singles that he dropped over the course of last year, and a couple more tracks that he put out this year, called "How I Fell." And the title track, "How I Fell," is a banger. It's not like super high energy or anything, but it's memorable. It's got great piano, great vocals. So "How I Fell" by Elliot Moss is going to be my second one.
Bet. Okay.
Super solid.
What I'm going to do then, I'm actually going to recommend a song by someone I know personally. Jasper, you know her, but I'm going to recommend a new song that just came out literally tonight. 10,000 Others by Luca and Julia. Just give them a little shout out. One of my
Is it
number one
good? I
playlists.
haven't listened yet.
I've listened to some other music and I liked it a lot. And I think this one actually comes out tonight, so I do plan on listening to it. But yeah, that'll be my other one. All right, bet. We made it.
All right, we made it. Come back next week for another review of another
Here.
really loud, really weird project.
Like, subscribe, follow, favorite, and don't forget to breathe.
Breathe. Breathe. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.